Welcome back to Wanna Be a True Hero, or Hercules if you prefer. I know you want me to say the full name to this, but I don't want it. It's a mouthful.
Disney's action game featuring Hercules.
Again, that's a mouthful. I'm just gonna say Hercules. That's what most people call it. That's what I call it. So let's just call it Hercules. The Big Olive. So yeah, we just got to the Big Olive in Greece. So now we have to find a way to convince the people that we are true heroes and that that they should pay attention to us.
This was the level that was included in Demo 1 of PlayStation. It's an absolute classic.
Just don't do it the route the Fantastic Four 2005 tried to do.
In the movie, this was just
the heroes if he's wrecking a bridge.
In the movie, this was just a little scene right before the Hydra fight starts. But the developers, since they needed to, we need to make this full length somehow, they decided to expand this into where we're exploring the city and we're fighting various monsters that happen to be attacking the city for whatever reason. Look, we just needed one more level, okay? Just put up with it.
I know what you need to do to prove yourself a true hero. You need to first solve a mini-game where you break all these barrels within the time limit. That'll show your worth for being a true hero.
So, the gods were being incredibly dickish today. Decided to make it so that it only rains on that person, specifically.
Because she made she made that one passing reference to the flooding in the movie. Poor bastard.
Hold on. The gods decided to be dicks, so it's a day that ends in Y.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Greek gods in particular were complete assholes. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Also, yeah. In this city, almost everyone is trying to kill you, not just the bandits, but you've seen before a cat on fire, basically. Later on, there will be falling columns, and there's also the guy inside the mini column, and also you have to pass the street too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so basically, just keep going. It's interesting because after the Disney tie-in game that we're gonna do after this is also done by Eurocom, Jungle Book. That one has a bit more interesting history, but again, I'll mention it when we get to it. All right, once again, this isn't one of those spells that you can't. You have to charge punch. There you go. Sure, a question. Have you actually played this game back in the day?
No.
Have you ever played it at all?
No. I didn't know it existed. My only experience with the Hercules game was like a PC puzzle thing.
Okay. Well, you have a PS3. You can get it from the PlayStation Store as a PS1 classic. So there's
very
that.
cheap.
There's that.
I played I didn't play this one, but I did play one of those storybook PC games of Hercules on the PC.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, considering how successful the recent Disney classic games, Aladdin and Lion King thing, seems to have been for Disney, I'm hoping they'll consider maybe re-releasing other of the older stuff. Some more of the older stuff.
For those to remember, they were doing it mostly to capitalize on the live-action remakes on the same year, so I wonder...
That is true. That is true, Theo. But Pinocchio is coming right around the corner. We can have a Pinocchio by Virgin re-release.
All right.
Oh, are you talking about the movie? Okay.
I mean, of all the Disney tie-in games that Virgin made, Pinocchio is definitely the one that's the more simpler. But again, considering the movie it is from, it's understandable. But I thought it was a nice little game, and I wouldn't mind seeing it re-released personally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I'm a big fan of Virgin's tie-in licensed Disney games catalog, so I think it would be nice to have more of them in modern systems.
Oh yeah, as you recall, this woman referred to the earthquakes, and well, that be what's happening.
Mm-hmm. All right.
There's the flasher.
Yeah, remember the guy that was trying to sell, watches all the time? You think that it would be like an enemy, but no. In this game, it actually gives you actual coins.
Turns out, there you go. You wanted to know what he actually had under that coat that they never show in the movie? Coins. Apparently.
Actually, they did. They were
did?
supposed to be. I forgot.
Oh wait.
The actual. I forgot what's the actual English term, but it's basically the equivalent of a watch seller.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, sundials.
You're right.
Thank you.
Regardless, it's one once again returns back to that great philosophy that I like about the Virgin tie-in games. The fact that it's okay. Hold on, let me explain this, boss. now we have to find
Minotaur.
this. We have to find this Minotaur that was never in the movie. But again, we
It
need.
was in the montage.
Yeah, he
Oh, it
was
was?
in the montage.
Yep. All the bosses when you fight the Harpy, the Minotaur, and later the Medusa were in the montage.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. That's a good idea, I guess. Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, I really like the philosophy that this game sticks to. The same philosophy that started with Aladdin, where aside from replicating the look, we also take as many stuff from the movie and try to turn them into excuses for gameplay. Like again, there was, like Theo said, there's a Minotaur in the montage. Let's use him as a boss battle. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Also, I know it's a stock sound effect, but if I recall correctly, it's the same one that it's used for the cows in the Diablo games. Hilarious.
There you go. Yeah, this boss, as you can see, is a piece of pie. Just keep doing the exact same thing that I'm doing over and over until he dies.
If you played the demo on demo 1 on the PS1, this is also where the demo actually ends. You don't actually get to continue the level of Athens after this. You get instead, the lightning bolt in the place where Hermes is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
Yeah, and you get hit if you stay there.
That's what you get for throwing rocks at people.
Wow. I just hope this doesn't encourage kids to try doing that in real life.
If someone throws a rock at you, throw a bigger rock at them.
Well, remember to, like I've said, like I've joked about various times before. This is a line from the Dwibs Bible. If someone slaps you on one cheek, punch the fuck out of them. Don't offer the other. Punch the fuck out of them.
Also, skeletons, because Jason and the Argonauts was a thing. Yeah, this is actually the thing that, if I recall correctly, was not in the movie.
Alright, skeleton soldiers, because, game designers love skeleton soldiers. Because game designers love skeleton soldiers. Golden Axe, the Soul series, we all love our skeleton soldiers.
Damn bones. Jova, you probably have more experience because I actually have watched like one episode in total. Like, did the Hercules TV series actually had skeletons in them?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh.
Again, probably a reference to the classic, Jason and the Argonauts movie. So why not?
I mean, in considering Greek mythology, skeletons, yeah, that makes sense at some point. Especially considering how Hades was the main bad guy of the show.
I thought this was called Hercules, not Hercule.
What he means is
because
he's
that's the brand, the trademark of the beverage.
Herculade. It's a pun on Gatorade. The Flips.
Yep.
Get it? It's Gatorade, but it's Hercules brand, so Herculade. Eh?
Just be glad they don't incorporate the credit card.
Well, look at this, Dwebs. We can't use Hercule Bowl. That doesn't really work. So Herculade.
How about Hercola?
That work.
I prefer Herculade personally.
Yeah, I like Herculade. And so does Hercules.
Well, he has to, Joe. Remember, he's the guy who sells the product, as shown in that thing in the movie. So he has to constantly. Every time I come out of a session of training or killing a monster for the sake of good, I always need to take a rest. And when I need to take a rest, I know what I must take. I take Herculade.
Okay, Jova, I remember about Batman Incorporated, but did Superman ever try to merchandise his identity? I don't think so.
Nah, that goes against his character. I'm pretty sure.
Elseworld stories have done far worse on that front, so
well,
I wouldn't be too surprised.
There have been a few stories here and there, but of course, Superman being Superman usually has made sure that a lot of funds do go to, proper causes.
Okay, I think of another example, but it's not Superman, but it kind of fits with the equivalent. Patriot from The Boys, because why not? Okay, if I recall correctly, the next boss fight is the Harpies.
It's an endurance round. Just keep killing. Just keep killing.
Harpies. Yeah,
just keep killing them as they come, basically.
Yeah, this is where don't worry about the peasants being whisked away. They're fine. We're gonna be fine. Just keep killing the Harpies, and this is where the power-up swords actually come into play for the better.
Yeah, this is actually the one time where I actually do use one of these power-ups. This is actually one of those times where it becomes well. Okay, both this and the flying stage near the end. But
that makes sense.
But most of the time, I don't necessarily bother because, as you can see, the most of the time the enemies aren't really hard to kill. They're usually very easy to get through. So I rarely feel the need to use these things. It's one of those things where I guess it also helps. It also goes into account that I feel like they make Hercules a bit too powerful for the enemies that they have. Because if it wasn't for the fact that that these things have ammo and the ammo is not exactly super abundant, the game would be outright broken in your favor if that was the case.
Considering this is also aimed, at a very younger audience, I get the idea where we were coming from.
Oh, I do.
In a way.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that that's one of the main reasons why I don't use the power up, so I can make the game a bit more interesting by not making it too easy.
Not to mention that, aside from having a difficulty slider, the game can potentially get hard when you're not expecting. These early levels are still fair enough. If the later ones actually actively try to kill you. I remember back when I was a kid, I wasn't actually able to beat the flying stage on my own. Actually, I had to ask help from my father on that. And then I learned that I was in easy mode, so I could not actually progress to the final one. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll try again.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up later, but might as well since just did.
Actually, we didn't mention in part one.
Oh, we did? I missed that.
Yep.
Well, regardless, this is yet one of those games that will not allow you to complete it unless you play it on normal mode at least.
I actually prefer when games actually do that. If they have to do that, at least they actually have to mock you or something, like Wolfenstein giving you a pacifier to play on easy mode or something. Like, at least have fun with that.
Or from Jim.
Don't just have a simple, text and go back deep shit. Even that would be funny, Don't just have a simple text that says, okay, go back and try another difficulty. Be creative with that. Again, or Jim, like Pedro mentioned.
Yep.
Maybe don't lock mandatory story stuff behind difficulty modes.
I do believe there is a way to do it, Shira. It's just that most of the time it's done poorly. It
I'm
catches you
only
off
okay
guard.
with it with extra side content that isn't entirely necessary but may enhance the story. The point A to point B stuff? No, don't do that.
No, I agree. I never cared for this. If I want to play on easy mode, just let me play on easy mode. That's the whole point of options. If I want to play with this set of options, I want to play with this set of options. That's it. I'm the consumer. I should be the one dictating how I enjoy the product.
It's the one thing I really don't like about Cuphead. Despite how great everything else is.
Well,
nope.
I guess, yeah. Sure. Cuphead. Cuphead is intentionally made as one of those hardcore, old school, hard as balls platformers.
I honestly believe Cuphead should not have an easy mode to begin with. We've had to pull this.
It's one of those cases where, I guess it's one of those things, Theo, where Cuphead. A lot of people who just want to enjoy the game for its visuals and the cartoony, funny story can't do that because of the whereas with something like a Souls game that's much more geared towards a fully grown adult audience.
I'll give it credit to Cuphead only because the team really busted their asses off, so they needed all the money they could get. But under more normal circumstances, I would have been still easy for me.
There you go.
Oop. Yeah, also, by the way, this is actually one of... Honestly, I think it's, the biggest level in the entire game. Meaning that you can lose the 100% coin getting very easily in this one.
Basically. There you go. This is the actual scene from the movie that we just stretch into a full level.
Hercules, thank goodness.
What's wrong?
Outside of town, two little boys, they're playing in the gorge. There was this rock slide, a terrible rock slide.
The audio compression is so staggering.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, we gotta fit all this crap in one CD somehow. Well, okay, even though the audio compression is not the best, I do think the picture itself looks fine.
Also, this I think was one of the early attempts.
I mean, because usually FMVs on the PS1 tend to have like a 20 FPS frame rate. This one seems like it's running at 30. So it is quite better than you usually guess to. Yeah, here's the Hydra.
Time to fight the Hydra, and again, to reflect that in the movie it was in CGI, this is a full-on 3D model. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Again, this is exactly the kind of thing that I always loved about the old '90s Virgin Disney games. They completely understood the source material they were adapting, and knew how. Go ahead.
Also, for some reason, the boss theme sounds a bit similar to one of Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, that's
also,
actually,
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that actually is interesting. Like, because the 16-bit Virgin games, those always used the either original music or songs from the movie as their level themes. Like, for example,
this one is using both.
Like the first level in Pinocchio is an actor I'll be.
Fox, yeah.
Yeah. So which makes sense, of course, since that's like one of the first thing that happens in the story properly. But this game, on the other hand, outside of the FMVs, they've never used instrumental made versions of the song.
Yes.
Do they?
The first one is Bill song. The second one is the.
You're right.
And if I recall correctly, there's at least another example.
No, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. It's just. It's. I kind of wish they would have used the Hydra battle theme from the movie as well here, because I love that music.
Okay, what you're supposed to do is...
Can you stop cutting heads?
Yeah, exactly. What you're supposed to do is that, waiting until the head arrives and do that. Sadly, Jova, no, you don't have to get on it back.
Get up on the Hydra's back, Herc! Yeah, I said it. That's the reference done, so moving on.
It's interesting now that we're at this point with the games, and I don't know. I mean, having 3D models with 2D sprites like this.
Well, this is how it was in the movie as well, Dwebs. Like Dale said. So
there's a big difference though. That's a movie. This is a PS1 game.
I don't know. I think the model looks good for a PS1 at least.
It's not the model's the problem. It's having
the contrast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good at least for this case, it's a good juxtaposition. It's very intentional to be like that, and it's also a reference to in the movie, so it makes more sense than I can't think of a specific example, because again, the other major example on the PS1 that I can think of is again Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and that one also has an excellent usage of 3D models mixed with 2D sprites.
It sells you on the idea that the Hydra is this otherworldly abomination.
About the way you defeat it is going exactly against the idea of the movie. You keep cutting heads until the Hydra just dies on its own.
Yeah, we're literally doing exactly what Phil told us to stop doing.
It's not even. When it comes back to Kingdom Hearts 2, it's not even better than, because Sora does the exact same thing, and he doesn't even drop a boulder on it. You just keep cutting heads until it dies.
That's the thing too. Trying to do the boss, an Hydra boss, like the movie did it, is kind of hard on a gameplay sense, so that usually developers just kind of fuck it. So
at least here they actually had the boulder falling on it, so where is that, to be honest.
Alright, and now cutscene.
You gotta admit, that is pretty heroic. You did it, kid! You did it! You won by a landslide!
And somehow, Danny DeVito's audio seems to be the most clear of everyone.
Very good.
Clap, clap.
Alright, Medusa's lair.
Yeah, this is another Medusa was also in the montage, so they decided to create an entire boss fight level against her. I mean, that's sure, why not, I guess.
Again, too, we had to make this game full length to be worth the price somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they didn't just make up bullshit at least this stuff, happened somewhat.
Well, there's some games do manage to come up with what is technically bullshit that wasn't in the movie and still do really good stuff. I would argue, like some of them did, like
Yeah, very good. These actual song used, if I recall correctly, it's a passing one that's based on the first song in the movie.
Yeah.
One that talks about Zeus.
You mean the Gospel Truth too?
I don't know the titles.
Okay, sorry.
Sure. If they wanted to do bullshit to try and pad the game out, why not just have him they probably would have had him fight a clone of himself or something.
Oh, so it's like I forgot which Batman game where you actually have to fight the statues of Gotham.
Like for example, like in the first Traveler's Tales Toy Story game, I like that whole thing where they have Rex, because he doesn't like confrontations, help Woody through the room as long as he helps him with that previous thing. Again, it's an excuse for a gameplay level, but I will argue it's fine. It's fine because it's still technically not contradicting anything from the movie. Technically, it's just adding an extra detail. Go ahead.
I'll be honest though, Pedro. I had a hard time focusing on that because I was too busy focusing on the first thing, Woody's poor Reggie.
I also like the in the Aladdin game where they make the dungeon into a full-blown level instead of just being that one scene, And that's you. Remember, the story of the Aladdin game by David Perry and his team technically was very, very, very different. They came up with this idea of a bit of Jafar trying to get Aladdin to get the House of the Scarab for him. So technically that game made shit up, and yet it's regarded still to this day as one of the, if not the best Disney tie-in game. So.
For sure.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, that line that Hercules said, that was in the movie. Because again, there are some lines, at least for the Italian dub, that were not actually in the movie, and it's more shown, because again, they had to hire different voice actors.
There you go, too.
For work in this game.
100%. As you can see,
actually fairly easy.
As you can see, nothing special happens. There you go, password. Which means we can also save. Again, I can understand making me earn a password, but I hate having to earn my right to save the game. That's just no. Let me save
It's like with the first Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
All right. So since there's not really that much time in this part for another level, I thought I would do something here, because there's a special password that you can enter with Meg, and yes, Meg helps us enter the passwords, and I love her commentary when we enter the passwords, by the way. Where you can actually enter a secret FMV, aka the song Zero to Hero, which is the one that takes place right at this moment, where we are in the story right now. So I figured, why not bring that up right now, If I went to the next level, this part would go over 30 minutes, so I thought, I'll just show off the hidden FMV. Why not?
That is a pretty catchy way to show a password input.
Looking good, Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they also actually got the voice actress to voice commentary on her. Like, if you leave her idle, she'll start telling you, "Hey, you actually gonna put the password or not? I don't have all day," or something like that. So. I'll actually show off a bit more later in the playthrough. For now, let's just watch the FMV.
Like I expect of games like these, it's good that they include so much character.
5 extras, does that... it's right with you. For a minute there,
Even though he's supposed to be Greek, so...
I'm honestly surprised YouTube does not accuse anything on the copyright ID for this, because yeah, the FMV itself is compressed, but the song is the audio compression really managing to fool YouTube?
Again, Pedro, the bots work in mysterious ways, sadly, or for better or worse.
Audio compression does tend to be one of the best ways to get around bots. You'd be amazed. There are incredibly full-length movies across YouTube with that.
Remember, Pedro, because you mentioned this well, YouTube has managed to have like the Peter Pan 2003 movie in pieces since 2012.
True.
I don't know how.
That is true. Yeah.
Again, it ultimately shows that the system is flawed.
Well, whatever. It gives me an opportunity to show this off as well, because this is actually one of my all-time favorite Disney songs, both in Portuguese and in its original English language.
Oh yeah, I love this one too.
Yeah.
Hi, Scar. Yeah, I love that cameo.
See, Dwips, all that merchandise. And Hercules is one of them.
I wonder how long that lasted on the shelf.
Drone Warriors believes the Scalpers actually helped.
Oh, and there you go. And of course, all of Hades.
Scalpy would work.
And of course, all of Hades' plans got failed.
I wonder how Scalpy would work in
God, I love that.
ancient Greece.
God, I
There
love
was a
that lyric.
currency, so it works.
There you go, Hercules. See? Well, got to send money over to the parents. That's cool. So.
You know, it's kind of ironic that we're showing off the. Wait, never mind.
Well, this is the scene. This scene takes place right at this moment in the story, Jova. So figured, why not?
I know it's just like, well, I know it's just technically we're seeing Medusa get defeated twice now, thanks to the ordering.
Why not?
But you know what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also hate Sebastian.
Well, technically, it also counts for the Minotaur that we've defeated earlier. So yeah, we defeated both the Minotaur and the Medusa twice.
Also the Harpy.
We dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.
It's like a glorified trailer. Watch the movie.
Yeah,
Please,
pretty much. I mean, it's a good movie. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, everybody, tune in next time where we continue the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.